Actually, my daughter, who has been the catalyst for a lot of this, her name is Eddie, and she's always been so full of grace. You know, there was a time we were boarding a flight on Hawaiian Airlines. There was a bunch of rowdy, drunk guys already sitting in their seats, and we're walking by them. They're like, you know, making fun of her patch. Like, these are grown men. And I'm looking at them like, I'm going to get thrown off this flight. Like, I'm about to, like, you know, like.
I'm from Big Island. You can only push me so slow. I'm kidding.
Oh, I don't know which island I was from there. But like, I was like, are you kidding me? It's like, she's a child.
Yeah.
Like, I just looked at them like, I was like, you could not get me killed. This queen, she just, I remember she was like 9 years old, and she just smiled at them, and she's like, well, if you want to know about my eye patch, I can tell you. I need it to help save my vision. Hope you have a great flight.
Oh, I love it.
9-year-old Eddie with the
she's so
mature.
full of grace. She's so full of grace. She's very sweet, and she's very thoughtful. She's very, very hardworking. So you know, she's interested in pre-med. So we'll see where that takes her if she sticks to that. I mean, she's 16. She could discover boys. We don't know what's going to happen.
You're like, okay, put the both patches back on.
Lokahi Backstage.
Welcome to Lokahi Backstage.
Woo!
Today, first of all, we're at the Outrigger Canoe Club, which is an exclusive club for just members.
First of all, Paige told me, hey, I'm a member of OCCC. You want us to get us a room? And I looked and I was like, oh, there's only 2 C's. It was my fault. You didn't do
Double
it.
C.
But like,
Double
Paige
C, not triple C.
She wants to do her podcast at the prison. Like, why? Why, Paige? What is
So on brand.
So OCC is Outrigger Canoe Club. Right.
Yeah.
So, beautiful.
And we are here with Paige Brattin. Brattin. Dang it.
You practiced for like.
And Hawaiian Ryan.
Hi.
So we are here today.
Can you say his last name?
Well,
Matsumoto. Shave ice. Shave ice, right?
Yeah, well,
Do you make the
I
shave
am
ice?
not related. I did try to get a discount. They don't care that we have the same last name. And of course, it's just Jamie Blakeman.
There you go.
Watari.
Yeah.
Okay.
And usually I get called Black Man. I don't know why. All right, I'm super excited today because you've got an amazing story about what you've brought to life.
So perfect.
Worthy Brands. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I love it. So it's not just you decided to start a company, but really it has a whole personal story behind that.
It does. It began as one product, and we've expanded. When it first began, I really didn't imagine that I would be, I thought I was just going to do one thing, and that was these adhesive eye patches, which is, of course, pretty niche. Not everybody needs one. As
seen on Shark Tank, by the way.
So it began when my daughter turned 5. She, failed a Snellen test at the pediatrician, which is, basically like the E's that go all the different directions. And they said, go to an eye doctor. I thought it was going to be a pretty typical situation. Lots of kids need glasses. In fact, 1 in 10. And that was not the case. She had severe hyperopia with astigmatism, strabismus, refractive amblyopia, and an inflamed optic nerve. It was a real lot to digest.
I hope the AI can get the subtitles for that, because that was a lot.
Yeah, so basically, she was blind. And
so was she functioning though?
Yeah, she was like not running into walls. She was a master concealer, that's for sure.
Wow.
She was having reading readiness as a 5-year-old. So, she was legally blind is 2200.
Okay.
So in one eye, she was 2250, and then in her bad eye, because that was the big issue, she had 2 different strengths, was 2450. So that's more than double legally blind.
Wow.
But very fortunately, it's a very treatable condition. And it affects 1 in 45 kids, so it's very common. And the treatment is wearing an eye patch. You cover the stronger eye so the weaker eye has a chance to strengthen and grow. And it's worked perfectly. It was hard. She had to wear an eye patch every day from 4 to 8 hours,
I feel like that's a great analogy for like relationships. Like sometimes the strong one needs to just get back, just stop. Let the
cover it up.
You know what?
You're too strong. Just can we let the
weak one rise up?
Maybe you need to interview like a marriage counselor with an ophthalmologist together. That could be another interview that could
we
be
need
great.
to invent that, the marriage patch.
The marriage patch.
From Worthy Brands.
You probably just put an eye patch over the stronger person's mouth.
That would be great.
So anyway, long and short, you wear an eye patch. At the time that my daughter began this process, the one and only brand on the market to me seemed very antiquated. It had, I always use the analogy, like when we were kids and you go to Long's, there's one type of bandage. Now you go, there's one for everything, and it's hard to choose. So I realized we could change the adhesive on this to make it a lot more comfortable. I mean, this is the most delicate skin under your eye. For people who aren't seeing this, under your eye is the most delicate skin on the body. And so how can we make this, like, lots of kids have tears and aggravations, and then if you have skin that's aggravated, you can't put a patch on, and then you can't do the treatment, and then you can't fix the vision. So I wanted to change that. The designs on the patches were really just unattractive in my opinion. I wanted to have more on trend, and I often will tell the joke, you know, my 5-year-old would be like going to Kahala Mall, and at that time there was like a Gymboree across the street from like either TNC or Roxy, right? Like a cool surf shop. And at 5 years old, she's like, yeah, that store's for babies, that store's for me. And like, they don't want to wear teddy bears on their face. And so I was like, we just have to find a way to make this look better and feel better. And so basically I changed everything about it. I innovated the shape, the materials, the adhesives, and I added really on-trend graphics.
Okay, like how do you do that? Like right there, like
that was hard.
So people come up with an idea, and then you're like,
implementing
this could be
it was
better,
the biggest
but
challenge.
then how,
actually.
like, how do you even take a step forward?
Yeah. So, you know, time out like all the problems and hurdles you have in a business. I would say this was the hardest part because I had this idea, but implementing it was not coming easily. I couldn't figure out how to manufacture. Like Alibaba wasn't just like readily available at that time.
Right.
And I wanted to make sure, obviously, it was like FDA approved and I could communicate with the factory. I mean, like if I had $1 for every minute I spent trying to manufacture this in the United States, I'd buy like you a house in Kahala,
What?
you get a house in Kahala. Like, you know, like it's just impossible to do it. So that's like another story when you're like, talking about my hurdles now and tariffs, right?
Right.
And then that's very, very frustrating because here I am trying to make products that make people who have difficult journeys make it better for them.
Yeah.
You know, having a child who can't see is not easy and it's very scary. And you know that there's a potential to save their vision and make them have a normal, healthy life. And we now have a situation with tariffs that we're going to make it very difficult for these families. But to your point and how I implemented it, it took me like 2 years of I just shamelessly just asked every person I know. Like if I'd bump into you in the grocery store, I'd be like, hi, do you know anyone who makes like medical products?
I believe she will do that.
And then so
I was so passionate at that time. I was so committed and obsessed. I literally talked to like anybody I saw about it. Like literally anybody I saw, I was obsessed with it.
See, but you have a little bit of that entrepreneurial spirit, like, because you are like. So, what was like? We can come back to this, but I mean, because I knew you from that first business you did.
But you knew me before that, but
right? Which was the maternity shop, right?
Hot
so, like,
mama.
What was your first like entrepreneurial?
So that was
attempt?
probably my first.
That was your first one.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, outside of like babysitting as a teenager, right?
Right.
Like a lemonade stand.
It starts somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is outside of your degree. So like
Totally.
also you have an education degree. You started
So,
being a teacher and then decided pivot.
Yeah, to your point, Ryan, I was teaching at UH and Kapiolani Community College, and I was loving it, but it was very, very hard to make ends meet. You know, and I was in my late 20s, and I was just really tired of, you know.
Oh yeah, nothing like a Hawaii teacher salary to inspire you to start your own business.
Yeah, you're like, I'm broke anyway, so I might as well just try this. No, it was an incredible learning experience for myself. I worked really close with the Small Business Association and Central Pacific Bank. They were both really, really wonderful. You know, I opened this maternity shop in Kaimuki, Hot Mama, and it was so much fun, and I learned a lot, and I had some hurdles, and in the end, a couple other maternity shops popped up in town, and I mean, it was just going to strangle each other out. Things were getting harder, and a woman came into my store and said, hey, I've always really loved your store, and I would really love to buy it. Would you consider selling it? I mean, it was literally a miracle.
Like you weren't thinking of that as
I actually was actively thinking about it, but I wasn't communicating that with anyone. It was only inside of me. Like I had that energy out there. So not to sound too woo-woo, but I was definitely.
It.
I did. I mama-fested it for sure. I wasn't a mama then, though, but I definitely was like I didn't know how to sell it because I was afraid it's such a small community, and Honolulu and our Coconut Wireless. Like I didn't want to say like, oh, I just don't want to do this anymore, because I didn't want people to think the business wasn't going well, or I just didn't want people to not trust that they could come in and buy something if then they needed to return it. Like I didn't want them to distrust the stability of the business. So I wasn't talking about it to anyone. About
when she walks in, how do you then get to what's a reasonable price? Like how did you?
Well, because I had been researching it, like it was in my head. I kind of knew. It was a really interesting experience, because she kind of came in and said, I want to buy this. And I said, that's great. When would you like to talk about it? And she picks up like her flip phone, cell phone. It's like before a lot of people had iPhones. Yeah. And she called her grandfather and said, I'd really like to buy this store. How much money can I have? Like, how can I do this?
Oh my goodness. Paris Hilton bought Hot Mama?
No.
But someone like that,
She's so wonderful.
With the poodle in her purse.
No, she's truly wonderful. And one of the reasons she wanted to buy it is she wanted to sort of make it a nonprofit where she would donate a lot of the proceeds to like maternity, causes and stuff, prenatal causes.
That's so cool.
Yeah, she's really philanthropic, really wonderful, wonderful woman. I couldn't feel more fortunate about this experience. Of all the experiences in my life, I do count this as one of the most amazing.
But wait, finish the phone call. Grandpa, how much money can I have?
Yeah, so we agreed on a price, and he made her, I see her time and time again, and we always laugh about that moment, because I was like closing up the shop. I mean, I didn't have like a contract ready to go. She literally pulled out I think printer paper, either from the receipt machine or the printer, and like in a red Sharpie was like, I promise to sell this business to the name for this much money.
You did a napkin contract.
Yeah, we did.
Wow.
We really did. We hugged. She jumped up and down. She was excited to get her store. And I was like, this has got to be fake. Like, there's no way this is real. Like, what? Like, I came home that night, like, scratching. I just scratched my head.
You're
all
like,
night
Venmo
long.
me right now, even though that hasn't been invented.
And next morning, I'm opening my store. I remember I was at the door with my keys, and like 4 men in suits had flown in from the mainland from her grandfather's.
Wow.
This does sound fake.
I know. I was like, why are you wearing a suit, man? We're in Kaimuki. And no, they took me to coffee. Anyway, long story short, it all worked out, the contract. And then she kind of had me working for her for a few months to help teach her the ropes. And it was a really great all in all experience.
Wow. Yeah. So that was basically super positive. And then were you thinking right away, start another business?
No. I got pregnant shortly thereafter.
Ironically.
Wearing
one of the Hot Mama clothes.
Yeah, I didn't. I think I saved like one pair of jeans or something. But different things were happening. I felt like it was a great time to exit. Like Lululemon was coming, and women were just wearing that when they were, there's a lot of things changing that industry. So it was a good time for me to leave it. And then I was probably out of it for a few months or a year, and then got pregnant, and then I got married and pregnant, and then I've been raising kids, and and I was very happily with toddlers, having kids. I always wanted to work, but I wasn't going to go back to work and sacrifice that time. And it's not easy to go back to work when you have toddlers, because you're paying for someone else. It would have to really be worth it. So I was just in that phase of life, and then when my oldest daughter turned 5, this situation happened. And there was a small moment during her diagnosis when they didn't know if her vision condition had been triggered by brain tumors. And so there's a process to resolve that with CAT scans and neurologists.
Wow.
And in that time, it was really, really scary. And there's like no atheist in a foxhole. I don't know if I was like manifesting to the universe, praying to God, making a deal with the devil. I don't know. But I, in those dark moments, was like, I can deal with blindness, but I can't deal with a brain tumor. Like, just let me get one. I will dedicate my life to making this better for anybody who goes through this, if I can just come out on the right side of this.
Wow.
And she didn't have brain tumors. She's totally fine with that. And I didn't know how I was going to hold up my end of that deal initially. I didn't know what that would look like. But I felt very moved by the fact that she could be treated and that she was going to be okay. And like the possibility of a brain tumor, which is much, much more serious, wasn't on the table for us. And so I was very motivated by that to start something and do something. But, I still had like a 2-year-old on my hip, and I wasn't sure how that was going to look. So I finally get one in kindergarten. I still have, I'm like potty training someone else, right?
Yeah.
And, literally. and And so as we went down the road and we realized she needed to wear this patch, I was like, this is something I can do, maybe, you know? And that's how it kind of all came to be. Like, this is something I can do to make it easier for all these families, because it's a struggle. Like, asking a small child to put something on their face that makes them look different every day at school is really hard. And it's so uncomfortable on top of it. You know, it's like, it's hot, it's keeping your eyes closed, your eyelashes, everything. And you know, it's just not easy to do.
Yeah.
So I did anything I could to just make the product more comfortable, more easy to wear for these kids, because the easier it is, the more compliancy these doctors have and parents have from their kids to wear it.
I mean, that's such a beautiful thing, because normally it's like, you know, I mean, it's like such a serious issue. It's a medicine. But your angle is like, no, if they like the colors or if they identify with like a cat or the graphic, that's going to get them to wear it.
No, and it's really true because...
Because with adults, you can scare. It's like, you're going to be blind, okay? You got to do it, right?
Yeah,
adults
they don't understand, and they don't understand because they've never really seen. I'm like, and I'd have to have these talks with my daughter all the time. Like, you're going to want to drive a car one day.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to want to cross the street without your mommy. Like, you're going to want to like hang out with teenagers without me one day. I swear this day is going to come. And you do not want to be stuck by my side. You're going to be so sick of me by that time.
Yeah.
And like, there's a whole wide world out there, honey girl. Like, you can do it if you can see. And, you know, we'd have to have those talks all the time. And I would definitely, you know, share that when I talk to pediatric ophthalmologists about like how to encourage their patients, because it's not easy. But, you know, to your point about the graphics, you know, like, we can make princess patches or mermaids and the little girls love them, or, you know, whatever. But the like best-selling ones are the foodie ones. And it's so funny because I think little kids are like, well, like, I may obsess about Cinderella, but I do know what pizza is. Like I may think that mermaids are cool, but I sure as heck love donuts, for real.
That
so
is
like,
funny.
yeah, they love the food. And honestly, we keep contemplating. We have 2 of them now, 2 different SKUs.
So what do you like to have, a pepperoni for the eye? Like, well, how do you, what?
Oh, the foodie one is like half an orange slice, because the way we shaped the patches. With that shape too, we can do like half a watermelon slice, half an orange slice. We do
That's so
pizza,
cool. Yeah.
which is more just a graphic of repeat pattern.
Spam musubi, eyeball, come on. Let's
I know.
go.
Well, that's the
There
next
needs
one.
to be a Hawaii one.
We've had a Hawaii one that had shakas,
Oh, nice.
seashells, hibiscus, and what was the third one? It might have, fourth one.
I saw one with palm trees.
Yeah, it might have been that. We might have added that one to it. That was a while ago. But yeah, that didn't sell as well as we kind of had hoped. But I mean,
wow.
it's, you know, we love Hawaii.
Yeah.
And we think everyone else does. But,
But it's kind of the
but
deal,
food.
right? You wouldn't have guessed the food one was going to take off either. So you kind of just have to put it out and see what
so
happens.
we have a snacks one that has like popcorn, pretzels, apples, and bananas.
Nice.
And then if we do another one, we kind of want to make a taco because it's the right shape.
Oh,
Oh,
perfect.
that's so
We get a lot of
perfect.
emails about wanting tacos and sushi.
Oh, that's so great.
So yeah, we could do a musubi, but we might just do a sushi.
Yeah.
And then we'll find 2 other things. But
Gosh, that's so fun. I love how it's like ever evolving too.
it is. The designs have to stay on trend.
Totally.
And sometimes that's just what sells.
Right.
Or even holidays.
Yes,
I don't
that's
know,
a
I feel
hard
like
one
you-
in terms of financing, but
That's
I
true.
just did get new manufacturing, so it might be more feasible soon. Like those temporary tattoos.
Oh, you can use those for the holidays one.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, I think making like a Halloween box or St. Patrick's Day, you know, something like smaller holidays.
Yeah.
But you know, Christmas obviously. Like we used to have a winter box, or like, what did we call it? I think it was like winter. So it was more like skiing and narwhals and like holiday candy. So like everybody could wear it and it wasn't
Sure.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so going back to your timeline, 5 years old,
Yeah.
she gets
Thank you.
diagnosed, right? And then you realize like you're using the whatever's there, but you realize like let's do this better.
And
But
then I'm
2
trying
years.
to search. Yeah, I'm searching for a manufacturer. I mean, and like I was saying, I was shamelessly talking to anyone. And then I basically finally sort of talked to the right people. And then it turned out like these people are like, okay, I can't help you, but I have a friend that can.
Right.
And then they're like, I can't help you. You know, and it kind of just came together, which was basically like a friend of a friend of a friend happened, that he generally was manufacturing like surfboards and sporting equipment, but he had access to factories and he helped me out. And
When you say factories, you mean
In China.
In China, okay.
Yeah.
Just making
yeah,
sure.
well, yeah, because that's where he was doing all of it.
Yeah.
That's such like.
and
So did you visit it?
no, it was an American-owned factory based on what he had found for me, and he was doing that legwork. which I'm grateful for. I mean, as much as I'd love a trip to China, it was not an easy time.
So, I mean, it kind of was random. Like, it's basically random, but also 2 years of you being optimistic and putting in the work. Because we've all had ideas, like, only if we knew someone in China. Like, if we just go, oh, well. And then everyone stops
and the idea kept changing, too. Like, how am I, like, I had to learn a lot. Like, how am I going to sell these?
Right.
On a website, on Amazon. You know, learning about, I've always kind of been really in love with like branding, like both Hot Mama and this company. I think it's like one of my favorite aspects of it is like the branding and the graphics and the logo. And so, I was putting work into that, trying to find a name that was right. And I knew that I wanted there to be like a philanthropic give back proponent to the business, socially conscious business is I guess what they were calling it back then. I don't think
so you got that going on with you guys too. Yeah, that's cool.
I love that. So talk about how does that connect?
So
right
I
there.
give a portion of my proceeds to early detection vision screening programs. So again, researching this like every minute I had when babies were napping and all that stuff, there's a lot of resources out there for children who are blind, but there's not a ton for preventing it. And so like the American Board of Pediatrics says that every child should be screened by age 2 or 3. And here I am, like you said, with a master's degree in education. I'm looking at my child. She's meeting all of the benchmarks. Yeah. And I'm not seeing it. Like, it doesn't matter what your like socioeconomic education level is. Most parents don't know. And I would say most parents you speak with, if you ask them, have you had your child's eyes screened? They're going to say no. Yeah. I mean, and even, one of my brothers like didn't take his kids. And I was like, can you see what I went through?
Not to call you out, brother, but which one?
Yeah. Ryan.
Ryans are always
I know.
Why? So
it's Ryan.
It's the name. No, but I mean, I think they eventually did. Yeah. But I think a common mistake too is they were like, "Oh, our pediatrician screens them." I'm like, they don't have the right tools. They really don't have the right machines. You can't just rely on that because you don't consider it because we only think of eyes like vision, but it's really eye health.
What was the stat you said? 1 in 10. What is that?
1 in 10 wears glasses.
Okay.
1 in 45 has amblyopia, which is sometimes called lazy eye, which is when one eye is stronger than the other.
So you didn't see like physically in her eye that there'd be like, some
now
folks like
that I look back in photos, I see a little, her eye was turning in a little bit.
Got it.
But it wasn't always, I was just not sure if it was like certain times I took a picture the way, your eyes turn. Anyway, but we caught it and, she has strong vision now and an even stronger sense of self. She's got great vision. She's taking all AP classes. She's on the dean's list. She's a nationally ranked swimmer. She's really, her determination when she was young, that was, I've often made the joke as well, like if this had happened to my other daughter, we'd be screwed. Like she would just be like, I'm not doing this, Mom. Like, she's a great, great kid, but she doesn't have that same, will to struggle, so to speak. Yeah.
But maybe it's partly tied in, right?
I feel like it's tied into it.
I'm sure it is.
And as you were given this like lesser hand, you're like, I don't want that to be my excuse and reason I can't. And so you're overcoming, she already has that overcome spirit. I think,
and that's why she's still working.
It's kind of a trite analogy, but a lot of people use the when the butterfly's in the cocoon, right? If you rip the cocoon out too early and just let it go, it's too weak and it's not good for it. Like some die or whatever. But you have to let it like struggle out, and like that's part of it. What like gets it ready to fly, right? So it's kind of
building those muscles.
It's kind of it's like they go kind of hand in hand, right?
No, and I think that's the grit she has now. So, luckily she had that grit and she's perfectly now.
And how long, about how long does it take for the patch to?
It depends. It depends on, she had a pretty severe case. So she was patching for about 6 years.
Wow.
Some kids only have to do it 6 months. So like it just depends on the severity of your condition. And then it can be used for different conditions too.
So now is it like done? Like
she still wears glasses or contacts, but it's fine. Yeah.
Okay, wow.
She's done patching for sure.
So some people, do you know some people who maybe didn't patch or didn't patch very well? That
I've heard the stories.
It's just they don't ever get rid of it because they're not.
They'll maybe have an eye turn, and they can sometimes fix that with surgery, but they might not have the vision.
Because if it maybe take too long, can it just it's like. You missed
Yeah.
your window to
Yeah.
kind of,
Yeah.
and it's permanent now?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
wow.
and there's theories on vision therapy, which is sort of like physical therapy for your eyes. And we did see one here in Honolulu. There is one. And I can't exactly say if it helped, but I think it did. I just knew I was not going to rely on something that was like new technology when this is like a 200-year-old treatment that works.
Yeah. Right.
And I wanted her vision saved. But there's a really cool TED talk about a woman who did some vision therapy to help her eyes at like 40 or 50 after not really doing it the right way as a kid.
Wow.
But I mean, I don't know that you can say yes it will, but you can try.
Yeah.
But the patches can be used. I have a lot of adults with Bell's palsy, and they need to keep the eye closed. Mostly women.
Yep.
Injuries, post ophthalmological treatments or surgeries.
Wow.
So because I changed the one size fits all, it does fit adults for whatever the adults
Wow.
need them for too.
Wow.
So how long okay, so once you found this guy,
Yeah. And so then
how fast to
I
manufacture?
think started moving then. Yeah,
Okay.
because we had to get samples. We decided on materials because I didn't know what type of materials I was gonna.
Yeah.
I
And
had
even
to-
the adhesive, like even if you manufacture, like you
Yeah.
went with a special adhesive,
yeah,
that
like-
was a critical component.
Yeah.
You basically invented a new
Yes.
adhesive. How did that?
So
yeah.
I got all these materials and from the factory that they're used to working, materials they could access. And some would be thicker, some are bamboo. They're all usually like they're called a cotton subwoven material. And the one that I really liked had these little pukas in it, little holes in it.
Yeah.
And so I'd be like, well, can we use this adhesive with this material? And I was kind of just like Frankensteining it, really.
Yeah.
And
He could have used an eye patch, I feel. I don't know, but just from looking.
definitely. Because I changed it in every way, I applied for a patent and got it. And
Wait, that sounds so quick. Like,
The
was
heck?
it that easy?
She skips over
Yeah.
like,
I just
and then
have a
so we
patent, I
made a
got it.
patch,
Like,
and then we did got
that
patent.
seems like, yeah. How does that?
Well,
how
I
did-
mean, in truth, I hired a lawyer. I didn't
Okay.
because I know my skills, right? Like
right.
I know that me applying for a patent was going to take 20 years and a lot of tears.
Are you thinking like, here's my budget for doing it, or you're kind of like, no, I've dedicated. I'm just don't look at the budget. I'm just
See,
gonna whatever
I
it
did
takes.
wonder that. Like,
You know what
how
I mean?
did that
Like,
work?
what
You
would-
can
how-
only spend what you have.
That's true. But sometimes you go like, I'm not going past this. Versus like,
Well,
no, this is my life goal. Whatever
we're
it takes.
going.
If I gotta sell my.
I think I didn't get any loans.
Okay.
And I was using my personal money, so I was pretty strict about sticking to
Okay.
that budget because you're looking at these kids and
right.
mortgages and like the real things
Right.
going on in life.
Sure.
And I was like, I have to kind of stay within this budget.
Yeah.
So, the attorney fees fit into the budget, the Amazon fees,
Yeah.
all the
Yeah. You need it.
shipments,
Yeah.
all the things
Yeah.
were kind of in that realm. So, I got it started and
So once you get it, when you decide to like truly manufacture, right?
Yeah.
That has to be a number, right? Like it's not just like, can I get 10 of these?
no, there's
There's a
minimum
number.
quantities
Yeah.
and they're large.
So then
Yeah.
that becomes
they were
like
really large.
the
Like I was like, I'm
investment.
doing it. Like holy
Yeah.
crap,
Wow.
I'm doing
You
it.
can't like.
Like
it's
I'm doing it.
That's
yeah.
a commitment, right?
Yeah, like I'm ordering thousands and thousands
Wow.
of units.
What was the first number? Like the minimum batch.
It was like 200,000 patches.
Wow.
Which it's like 2,000 to 5,000 units.
Right, because in China they're like, we have 1 billion people. That's not 200,000 is like that's like
That's a quarter
that's
million.
a tall at Starbucks. It's like
Yeah.
it's like
Well, and they
So
they
like
just
if this
mass
goes
produce.
wrong,
That's
you're
why
like,
it
oh my
costs
gosh, I've got a
effective.
garage.
Yeah, it's
full.
cost, and I did. I had a garage full.
you're gonna go into an eye patch lay
So-
business.
That is actually rad. That's a great idea.
That's something.
That is such a good idea because
There's something.
that's something. Even though it's like really probably just
Yeah.
kids in Hawaii, but
Yeah.
my daughter would take like because it's
I've
one
seen
per
that.
use, and she like just puts it in. She would like decorate the whole bathroom. It was
Oh,
just
totally.
like
Or
the
I
walls
saw
were covered.
they do coloring pages.
Oh yeah, or
I love
journals,
that.
yeah, and like
Yeah.
but like we'd take the patches. Like once you take it off your eye, she would stick it on a wall. Like our whole house was like full of
Oh
them.
my
But I
gosh.
wonder if she could like fold them into a lay.
Yeah.
Totally. And
And,
then
make
what-
a lay. out of it.
Guaranteed you can.
I don't know who's wearing that.
and kind of like pair it with like when you finally hit your target.
yeah.
Then there's a celebration with like these lays, and plus you get to sell like 20 at one time. I'm just saying that's a bonus.
Yeah, like a Hawaiian themed party.
Right.
I feel like I'm gonna have to do like an
Yes.
Instagram post about this
Nice,
idea.
nice. Yeah.
So yeah, that is a fun idea.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, where were we? We've got like a ton.
No, but how like, go back to like
The timeline?
the struggle of the patent. Was it just that easy?
Honestly, I've had way larger struggles in this process.
Okay. How long then it took?
That took maybe a year or two. But
Okay.
like
Wow.
that's just
Okay.
like the patent office's timeline.
It's not bad though.
Which I hear is
Yeah.
even worse now because of a lot of the cuts in the
Yeah.
department.
Okay.
But let's just say it was like it was December. It was the first week of December 2018
Right.
that my inventory arrived in the United States.
So how old is your daughter at this point?
She's in 5th grade, so that made her about 10.
So this is
Yeah.
5 years past her diagnosis.
5 years past her diagnosis, about 4 years after she started patching. And so that's how long it basically took. You know, and it wasn't, me shamelessly talking to people wasn't immediately. Like, I was like, maybe I should start an eye patch company. Maybe I should do that. Like, I was trying to find, or do I just start a nonprofit? Like, I was trying to figure out, you know, how to navigate it for a while. But that first month of sales had a lot of like pre-orders. I was like kind of hyping it up as much as I could.
Social media?
Very much. Yeah, there was a really amazing, strong, supportive community of moms of patchers on Instagram.
Gotcha.
And they were just amazing. They were like mama friends from afar, and like we were all in it to win it, talking about our difficult days or strategies or days that were wins. So it launched, we did well. I went to my first pediatric ophthalmology conference in March of 2019, and the doctors were so excited about it. I had like 2,000 doctors just really amped about it that Amazon took down my listing because they thought I had all my friends go and click on it to get like, because you know how the algorithms work is if you get
Yes.
clicked on it, you get
It's
moved
like
to the
too
front.
many.
Yeah, well, actually that was so stressful because here I am telling you this story.
Yeah.
My whole heart and soul's in this. Years into it, I'm finally about to make money. All these doctors are excited to find it and it's gone.
Yeah.
They want to tell their patients about it. It's gone.
Wow.
And I'm on the phone with Amazon. I'm like, I don't know who you think I am. I don't have that many friends. Like that, not that many people like me. Like people don't like me enough to do this. Like to ask to just go click on stuff. You know? Yeah. I was like, no. I was at this conference and these doctors.
By the way, Amazon, she has so many friends. She's totally lying to you. She's got lots of friends.
No, I don't have 3,000.
No.
But like, no, that was a massive stress. That was really stressful. And then customer service for Amazon when you're on the phone with them is hell. Like my daughters will talk about this moment too. I was so mad. You know, I'm on like a 3-hour phone call and they're like, I'm trying to give them after school snacks, you know, and I got so mad. I'm like, I slammed a cabinet door. And like I was making their snacks and I just slammed this cabinet because I was so annoyed. I was on the phone for hours and I broke the dishes. And so
Oh my God.
any excuse for a Target run.
Yeah.
But like, it was.
But
It was so aggravating. It was so stressful because, again, I spent
You
my entire
finally-
budget,
Wow.
budget. You know, I could have put
And you
tens of
went to a
thousands of
conference.
dollars on like a summer in Europe or something. But no, I am making these products to help children and you take them down over an algorithm. I was so upset. I mean, that was like a real stressful week or two or however long it took to come back online.
Wow, 2 weeks.
I don't remember the exact dates. I think I just like burned it out of my brain because it was just so
But
bad.
what you had to like keep calling, sending emails, whatever it was.
Oh, I have a whole file of this. What was his name? It was like Kyle or Ethan from Amazon. It's like in my phone.
my goodness.
Oh, he was the pits.
Oh man.
Wow.
I felt like that guy was like taking a bong hit during our calls. Like he was so difficult
Oh my
to
goodness.
communicate with.
Ironically, he was blind in both eyes.
Yeah,
like
he
this
might
guy.
have been. I didn't ask. I should have. But and then we basically were back online and had a great trajectory. We're going. Then COVID
So your
hit.
250,000 sold out for 200,000 of them.
Eventually, yeah.
About how long did that take?
I put another order in like 6 months later.
Wow.
But
Wow.
I wasn't sold out entirely, but
But
I
yeah,
I was
Right.
yeah,
You know
monitoring.
what's happening.
Yeah, and so I put
It's like
another,
toilet paper. You can't wait till the last few squares.
I
you know?
know. You got to make sure that extra roll is in the room with you. Yes.
Totally.
So I put another order in, and I remember I was like, should I just double this? Like, really go big? And I remember I was with one of my brothers, and It's like, I say just go big or go home.
Because you get a little bit of a price break the more you go, right? A little bit.
That, not really.
Not really. Okay.
That's
not at 2, but maybe if you did like 5, 10.
Yeah, not really. No, not until after I was making over 1 million patches a year. But like I've been making like 1.5 million patches for the past a year for the past few years. Yeah, and then and I think we could do more. Now there's a whole. We'll get to that story.
Yeah.
And but I was like, I'm going to double it because this is what I have in my budget, and I just feel like I can sell more. If I have more, I can expand, make new designs. So I doubled that order, and so that probably arrived, let's say fall 2019, and then of course we all know what happened 2020.
Yeah.
And so I have a bigger order than I anticipated, which turned out to be a great thing, because I sold out of everything like 2 months into COVID. Wow. I think parents.
Why?
I think everyone was freaking out. Like, there's no more toilet paper. There's no more, paper towels. Like, everyone didn't know what was going to be a shortage. I don't know. I actually don't know why.
Because there wasn't just COVID. There was
supply chain
issues.
Yeah.
Right.
I speculate because with Amazon you don't get a lot of analytics about where things are going and who's buying it. But I kind of felt like, if I, like, as a parent, you're like, oh my God, if they sell out of this, then this is the thing that my kid will wear and I need it to save their vision. I got to get this. I got to back it up. And like, it just, again, back to the toilet paper. Once it started rolling, the more you got to the end,
Totally.
it got faster and faster. And I think your algorithms go up and then you get shown more and people were buying, and I sold out. And it was a very bad time to be sold out. And that was really bad because then there goes all of your algorithms on Amazon. You've got nothing to sell. So you have to start right back from scratch.
Oh, I didn't know how. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Wow.
Another stress in this game. I mean, there's a lot too.
Wow.
That, I can't tell you every stress.
So why would you not
have prepared better?
No.
To
sell it on your own, like on your own
I do.
website.
I do.
Oh, okay. So Amazon just one of the distributors, but you sell it.
Yeah, I sell it as well. And I then, it did help people. But at that point too, I was like packing boxes in my garage left and right, going to the post office with my mask. I mean, and then trying to homeschool. That was insane. So, because I was not selling quite as much on my
individual website. Yeah.
And, that's always been something that I've been trying to convert customers to my website from Amazon. I obviously make more money that way, and I have more control over the customer experience and their just service if they have something go wrong. Amazon, they don't, you don't get that. I mean, the good news is you can return anything generally, but like, it's just sometimes like, and I get the returns. People are terrible, man. They'll like use half of a box or they'll use like all of one design and then people just return things all the time.
So you get them?
Yeah, from Amazon. Yeah, and the only Amazon returns I've ever gotten are like the Amazon uses like a claw to get it off the shelves to put it in the bag, and they've damaged the boxes, which is why I'm now in pouches, not boxes, because they were just damaging. Yeah, but like I've never really had any returns from dissatisfaction. It's always like damaged boxes or like customers like, I'm only going to use the ones I want.
Oh my gosh.
I see. Wow.
Oh, there's like used patches in the because I see it. We're seeing more and more conversion to our website, which is great.
Yep.
But at that time, there was less. And people were just, I think also my demographic is like a busy mom. She's like, I can go on Amazon, I can get dog food, I can get baby diapers, I can get this, I can get everything I need for my house in one stop.
I totally
get
agree.
that. I feel really grateful because I feel like I have really great customers who, so many of my doctors are like, I learned about you because my kids are coming in and they're talking about you. I'm like, aw, you met me. I talked to you. I see you at conferences. I send you free patches. Don't tell me you didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
And but it's great that I have such great customers and like passionate, users of my product. Yeah. And it's helped a lot because once the doctor's endorsement is everything when you have a child with an issue and you have to use a product on them,
Yeah, that makes sense.
But
you're like cash positive now. So like
I've always been pretty cash positive. So
besides the initial investment of like
going all in. It was my investment. It wasn't like I owe anyone.
Right.
So we're going. Amazon fees are going up. Shipping wars are happening. Literally those like union doc. Strikes were happening and the COVID of it all with shipping. so I was kind of navigating all those hurdles, which were no fun, but everybody was doing it. So you don't feel so like, this is happening to me.
Right.
Yeah. And then, we're kind of coming out of COVID in like 2022, and I'm getting like these emails and calls from the casting director of Shark Tank.
Wow.
And I was like, this is a prank call. This is not real. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and at first I was like, this isn't real. I kind of didn't really reply. I was like, is this real or not? I was kind of like doing my research, like, who is this person? Are they really affiliated? And then I had a call with them, and it was really cool. And I was like, you know what? I guess when I sat with myself those years ago and said, if I really want to make a difference, like I am going to dedicate my purpose in life to helping other people, like what is a better mouthpiece than national television?
Sure.
And it's because I have no desire to be on national television. Like you were miking me up, and I was like, and asking, I don't want my face on anything, like it's not young anymore, but like, no, you know what I mean? Like that was never a point that I want. Like I never had that goal.
I chose radio specifically for that point. And then now we're doing podcasts. What happened?
Yeah. Well, and then I just kind of was like, all right, well, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. And, there's so many basically like Zooms, especially because it's COVID, and auditions. You're trying out and like making one round and then going to the next round. And I kept going, and I kind of didn't think it was like ever really going to end. And then they're like, this is your date. You're like, you're doing it basically. And it was really a great experience. Like I feel like they did such a great job helping me prepare, and like they were really a well-oiled machine for sure. And I knew that it is TV, and that I didn't know if I'd really want to make a deal with any of these people because they're kind of like
sharks.
They're sharks.
Literally,
they're not great deals.
Yeah.
And I mean, but you never know. Like, and so go in kind of with an open mind. But then I think literally like day of was so nervous. Like I didn't anticipate being that nervous.
Right.
Because it's not like you're going on like Oprah or somebody who's gonna hug you. It's like sharks. They're
and she's gonna give you free stuff. They want to take.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess the only trade-off is like maybe
exposure.
The volume is so much that even if they're asking for 30% or whatever they're trying, you're like, how about 5%? They're like, how about 50? You're like, geez.
Yeah. Well, and as you know, like they do like 2.5 hours of taping, and then they boil it down to like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And
wow.
So you're standing there in lights and heels, and it's hot and it's nerve-wracking, and basically they it was kind of like a love fest. It was really, really nice. They were all so nice to me, especially Mark Cuban. I actually wish I had the full footage of what he said to me. Like, I don't think anyone's ever said nicer things to me in my whole life.
That's
awesome. He was really
Wow.
sweet. He was really great. And basically the message from all of them was like, you're really doing great. And I would come in and want to take so much money from you, and I don't want to take money from you. Like, you're doing a really good thing for people.
Which is a rare moment.
Yeah.
Like, when does a shark go, I'm hungry, the blood smells wonderful, but I'm good. I'm just
No, they were really
vegan.
all in all very good to me. Yeah, they were really sweet. And I didn't get a deal, which then I felt like embarrassed I didn't get a deal. Like you go through like all these like weird emotions because you're like so exposed. And Lori was really great too, and she had some interest because I was talking about, which did get edited out, the new product that was coming, the wound-worthy bandages. Yeah. And so she has a lot of skin allergies, so she really, really wanted to be involved, but nothing's really come of that. She actually said so on air that, she wanted to reach out to me, but hasn't happened.
Okay. Yet. If you're listening to this, we're still open.
Well, mostly because the wound-worthy, which I think we're going to actually change it to worthy bandages. Just wound-worthy doesn't really roll off the tongue.
Okay.
Like we did seaworthy, and then we did portworthy.
SEE.
Yes.
Just for those listening. Yeah.
So it was such a double entendre, and it worked so well for the eye patches.
Yeah.
And then we did port patches for people with like medical ports and chemo ports.
Right.
And so portworthy also kind of works. It likes the also double entendre. Portworthy happened first. That is a hard industry. So like Amazon has like flags on certain words for your like keyword search. So I wasn't allowed to use the word cancer. It's a liability situation. Like if you promised to cure cancer and then you didn't, and the platform was Amazon, so that's why they probably don't.
Yeah.
So I really had to just donate all of it to cancer centers because it wasn't selling.
So you donate all the port patches, and then what then led to the Worthy Bandages?
So Worthy Bandages was elderly people were using my eye patches since like day one. Because of the ultra gentle adhesives, it doesn't tear their elderly thin skin.
Yep.
And
they get wounded easily.
Yes, very easily.
Like they scrape against a wall, and
exactly.
there it goes.
We changed the shape and made them into bandage shape.
Yeah.
And but kids are loving them because it's a pain-free removal. Like everybody does not like, removing a Band-Aid hurts.
It's so true, but I remember even being as a kid, like my dad would or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, I can't take it off. You're like, I can't take it off.
That's
it's
the famous phrase,
and then
right?
You're like, gotta do
rip
it
a
fast.
bandage.
You gotta do it
Rip it
fast.
off.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, literally would just be horrifying. Like,
And you're not even Okinawan. Imagine.
but it takes your skin.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
totally.
And that was where the port patches were great too, because not only did the gentle adhesives not disrupt the port, but men have hairy chests.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't, take that off. So I'm now working on like individually owned pharmacies. That's kind of like the list I'm working on right now.
Nice.
Because I need to just have it in stores, because I think all of us, we just buy our bandages in stores still. We don't really go online all that often.
That's probably true because you need it then.
You need
or
it on the
whatever,
spot.
at that moment. Yeah.
Right.
So
I almost feel like also like school nurses.
yeah, that's been another
Yeah.
one that I've been targeting. Yeah, school nurses.
Yeah, getting it.
Wow.
That's so cool. I love like the stuff like this, just the way my makeup is. I love how your business has like over time. It started out with all you were doing was like trying to figure out your product, right? Like
Yeah.
at first, like there's no sales or nothing. You're just like, how do we craft this and make this? And then it turns into like distribution. Now it's like marketing and who's your like it's
Yeah,
a
you wear a lot of
constant-
hats.
You're wearing so many hats, and then the creative component of it all, and I don't know,
I feel like I'd be lost going this
I love
mesh with
that.
this adhesive. I'd be like, I don't know. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
that's a rough part of the process.
But you
know?
got through
Yeah,
that, and then
yeah.
now you're on like as you grow, you're
Yeah.
having to do different. Like you're not still with
Right.
the patches and manufacturing the adhesive. You're kind of past that. Doesn't mean you don't
Right.
go back, but then you're like now into like how do we get the word out? How do we get the next product? How do we meet the consumer demand?
So
right?
is the patent on the adhesive technology, or is it on the actual patch itself?
It's on the patch.
Okay.
And the adhesive's on that patch.
I see.
So if I want to change it to a Band-Aid, like if I wanted to add, like say when I wanted to patent the port patch,
Right.
like I couldn't do that because I'd be competing with my own patch.
Wow. Wow.
That's like the long story short. Like that's like the really easy way to put
right.
it.
Because there's too many similarities, especially because you're using the same adhesive technology. I see.
Yeah. So, and if I wanted to take it to just my adhesives, I then lose my patented shape, and other eye patch companies can use my shape. So I'm just gonna leave my patent like where it is and market all of it in the right ways. But
Nice. That
it is hard to. That's a very, very first grader explainers like explaining.
Have you ever seen an opportunity where you're like, hey, man, I got the patent on that. What are you doing?
Oh, I've had some situations.
Do tell. Is this thing on? I'd like to know.
Yes, the tea is coming. It's just wild, like the eye patch wars. No, I'm not even kidding. Who
Wow.
knew? I did not even know it.
Right.
Like, so there's one company that's been on the market for like 30 years. They're based out of Europe. I'm on the market for like 1 minute. I go to this trade show. Someone there must have picked up one of my patches. They changed their adhesives to be like me.
Oh my goodness.
So I had to send a letter saying, like, let's just talk about this. This is infringing on my patent. Their lawyers, they had this like very scary lawyer letter telling me to cease and desist and to get out of the business. They were here first, all this stuff. And I'm like, again, shaking in my boots. Here I am.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have just I've sold the farm for this. I've got 2 kids. If I was going to spend this on money on something that, is going to just flop like this. Like I need to pay for tuitions and, I mean, I'm like, it's like a chokehold on you because you're so emotional. Like you talked about earlier, when it's your business, it's like your baby, your blood, sweat, and tears. And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't exactly budget for a law team. I was fretting over this. And then one day, some miracle, I open my email and this very German name is in there. So how you say it, our American team is, they like to do the sue. They like to go to the court. They're litigious. He's like, yes. He's like, I am not.
Wow.
And he's like, I'm really sorry. They put these, he's like, we're in this mission to try to help children see. There's room for more companies. Let's work together. And the whole thing kind of went away.
You can invent and reinvent. People can copy.
Yeah.
I think AI can copy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no matter what, I think the originality
The authenticity
is with you.
isn't there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of truth into like the integrity of what you put into something is
Right.
going to stick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like the more focus and integrity you have
Yes.
on the effort you put in, the more it's going to stick.
And you will be the long lasting. You're the one that was on Shark Tank. Like it's just, I think in the end, I don't know. It stinks, but I think in the end,
that was a terrible chapter. Yeah.
Yeah. But so take us, so where are you right now? You've
Now?
gone through all of
I've gone
these
through that,
things.
yeah,
And so,
and so-
describe where is the company right now and how you
Right
feeling
now,
about
I feel like we're doing pretty well. So this tariff issue is looming. What they're speculating, it's going to be between 70 to 100% tariffs on what I bring in.
wow.
So if this is a $50,000 order, I'm going to wind up spending $100,000 on it.
My goodness.
Wow.
That's so unfair.
It's crazy.
Well, and it's sad too because you have to consider like medical products like syringes and needles that hospitals go through how many a day? I mean,
Right.
every hospital, thousands, millions, right? They're being tariffed 100%.
Wow.
So how is that sustainable for our medical system? I'm at Amazon in Europe now, so maybe we'll just take them all to Europe and expand that market for now.
yeah.
Right.
I think that's kind of
Gosh, you
the
just get
high
like
level plan.
Yeah.
front lines of figuring things out.
But
like,
that's kind
on
of the point
spot.
of doing these stories, right?
Yeah.
Is like you find out, it's not all just, hey,
But that's
Shark
a shame.
Tank.
But
Yeah.
here we are putting these tariffs in place because we want to make our American economy better. But I'm not going to sell here. I'm going to go to a different market because I
Yeah.
can't exist here.
Yeah. And
And
that's
this is
happening
the
everywhere.
It's the short-sightedness, and this is just all small businesses, and probably actually some medium and larger ones as well, because
Right.
nobody wants to spend. You can only charge as much as the market bears.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can't just start charging $50 a unit. Like I can charge $50 for these eye patches because let's also talk about the fact that this is the #1 cause of childhood vision loss, and it's not covered by insurance.
Already that's another
thing
oh my goodness.
that I have lobbied. I've had meetings with Josh Green's team, to become the only state in the country that requires it as covered. Because we have such a small state and a small population, we can afford to do this. But long and short, nationally, this is the only way to treat amblyopia, and it's not covered by insurance. But yeah, so now, I'm kind of just like navigating that issue.
And that's another sort of thing, a takeaway from this is, right, is like all your stories from the very beginning, right? There were struggles from day one that you had to figure out how to
It's
pivot.
built on a struggle.
Everything, right. And then you have to pivot. And then here comes the materials, here comes the legal stuff, here comes accusations and all this stuff but you've survived, you've ducked, came back with the right hook, you've somehow, and here you are still doing it.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, do you have any, a lot of people listening to this, they haven't even started their journey yet. They're thinking about it. They want to they're inspired by how far you've come.
Thank you.
And you're still fighting. And it's not, and obviously it's not just for you, it's for the 1 in 45, for the leading cause of blindness in children, and you out fighting the good fight. It's amazing. What is something you can leave
What's the
with the
nugget?
people,
Yeah.
what's listening and going, here's after all of this and I'm still going.
And it's so cool what you've done.
Yeah.
Like from the outside, right? No one knows all the inner things that you're going through, but it's so
Yeah.
fun and cool and
Yeah.
beautiful. And you've
Yes.
created something to excite a child.
Yeah.
That's something that's hard, right? Something that's hard for a kid.
Yeah.
Now you've turned it into exciting and
But the nugget, I would say my dad says it's nice to own a restaurant. It's nice to be in fashion, but you have to do what people need, not what people want.
So smart. Dad, what's up?
Yeah,
no, we've
because
just
that
been
was
watching a lot of videos like that where it's there's so many boring but just cash
boring
flow positive,
businesses.
solid businesses.
He would get bigger at his business and maybe be with people who are at that time that was the Instagram sexy to be a lawyer or surgeon, right, in the 80s. And they're still down your nose at you for
That's
being
so
in pest
wild.
control, right?
Yeah.
But in the end,
Hey, yeah. It's
it all
he did
worked
okay.
out.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did okay. Yeah.
now I think he's doing probably significantly better.
Nice.
But and he always taught me that go do a business that people need, not that they like. Trends come and go, but but what you need matters.
Dad Bradbury.
Interesting.
Let's go. Let's go. Come on, you deserve that. That's awesome.
Yeah. And so actually my daughter, who has been the catalyst for a lot of this, her name is Eddie, and we named her after my dad. He's
Wow.
Ed, so.
I wanted to give you a chance to just brag about Eddie, because I just feel like that's the core
Thank
of this whole
you.
story. And I just hear little bits of her, and you light up every time you talk about her too.
Thank
And I just
you.
want you to, I want to capture some of that, because I know she's the
She's
reason,
awesome. Yeah,
and how much
yeah.
she's developed and
No,
everything.
she's great, and I love her story as an inspiration, hopefully, to other kids
Yeah.
going through this. Mostly, she was, she started out in kindergarten, and I was really, really worried. Like, is this kid going to be able to cross the street? Is she going to be able to learn to read? All these things that, as a parent, you imagine your child being able to do sometimes. Ride a bike, like all the dreams you have for them, like, is it going to happen? What is this going to look like? I mean, there were periods of time where I was like, do I need to be researching a seeing eye dog? Like, there were moments during that journey that were so hard. And, she has such perseverance and such determination. And she's always been so full of grace. There was a time we were boarding a flight on Hawaiian Airlines. There was a bunch of rowdy, drunk guys already sitting in their seats, and we're walking by them. They're like, making fun of her patch. Like, these are grown men. And I'm looking at them like, I'm going to get thrown off this flight. Like, I'm about to
I'm from Big Island. You can only push me so.
I don't know which island I was from there. But I was just like, are you kidding me? It's like, she's a child.
Yeah.
I just looked at them like, I was like, you could not get me kicked off this plane. I remember she was like 9 years old, and she just smiled at them, and she's like, well, if you want to know about my eye patch, I can tell you. I need it to help save my vision. Hope you have a great flight.
Oh, I love it.
9-year-old Eddie with
she's
the
so full of
mature.
grace. She's so full of grace. Every time, so many corners, it stuns me every time. And so, now she's in high school, and she's, about to start looking at colleges, and she's swimming a lot. She's doing really well with swimming. She actually, last year, lived away from home for a semester and lived in Florida and trained with the Sarasota Sharks, which is a really big swim team. She's on the dean's list. She's all 4 AP classes.
I mean, I thought it was so cool. She just got recognized for doing this amazing painting.
Yeah.
Which is very, that's an
If she
amazing.
couldn't see, we never knew what her arm was going to be like.
Right.
Yeah, it was a really incredible piece of work. She's never taken an
Yeah.
art class. She's just self-taught painting.
Which I have 20/20 vision. I can't paint that. I feel this is really, I feel attacked.
Yeah.
Her painting is attacking me.
Yeah. No, it was
That's
really
amazing.
cool. We were at this event. It was 250 people, and they got her on stage and told her story, and she donated that painting to the cause, which was really,
That's
really
amazing.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so she just completely gave it away, which is really, really amazing too. She's very sweet, and she's very thoughtful. She's very, very hardworking. So she's interested in pre-med. So we'll see where that takes her if she sticks to that. I mean, she's 16. She could discover boys. We don't know what's going to happen.
You're like, okay, put the both batches back on.
But she's really good, and but she's a teenager, so she has a lot of time to make choices.
Yeah.
And I also always feel like her younger sister sometimes gets left out of the story.
Yeah.
Sometimes by design, and sometimes I kind of feel badly because she was such a great supporter. It's not always easy to be the sibling, and so my youngest daughter. There's only 2, but she has always been so supportive and put a patch on. She was always just the sweetest, most supportive little sister too. And she wasn't too scarred. She's doing all right too.
That's awesome.
She's doing great as well.
That is so cool.
I love it.
Yeah. What a great story,
Yes.
dude. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
Awesome story. I love
Seriously.
it
So much.
You're so inspiring what
Oh,
you've done.
you're so kind.
The amount of things that you have gone through. I mean, it's not just starting a business, but so many layers on layers on layers.
Yeah, just
amazing.
the supply chain, the competitors.
So many things.
Thank you. And I just always think I'm just doing what I got to do.
Yeah.
You
But
just
that
getting
is-
it done. You're getting it solved.
That is
Thank
so
you for
amazing.
honoring that. Yeah.
I love it. And it's so passionate behind all of it. There's a purpose, a passion, and you're helping the world.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Lokahi Backstage, Paige Brattin in the house.
Thank you guys so much.
Awesome.
I'm
And
so
go-
glad I could do this.
And find you
Oh,
at,
yeah.
of course, the website is worthybrands.com.
Yes, worthybrands.com. Instagram is always good too, which is also worthy_brands.
Okay.
Because I think it's really helpful for people to see what products are new,
Yeah.
or if anything's on sale, pricing changes, things like that.
That's it.
Whee! That's a wrap. Good one, man.
Thank you.
That is a great one. Yay.
Awesome. Good.
Lokahi Backstage.